Hello, friends. This is another episode of Empire of Lies, where we discuss manipulation and disinformation in the Russian media, when fear changes sides. The evening broadcast of the Russian show 60 Minutes began with theatrical seriousness. Skabeeva declared that the West has crossed red lines. But beneath this pathos lay a more important message. For the first time in a long time, fear was heard in the Moscow studio. Not the excitement over retaliatory strikes, not the usual mockery of weak Europeans, but a pervasive fear in the participants' voices at the new reality. The West isn't just watching, it's acting. The program's topic was Wall Street Journal reports about the possible supply of Tomahawk cruise missiles to Ukraine and the transfer of US intelligence data for strikes on Russian energy infrastructure. The hosts tried to wrap this up in their usual rhetoric, that Washington is pushing the world toward catastrophe. But the more they talked, the more obvious it became. Russia finally felt that its internal lines of defense no longer guaranteed security. Fear as the new tone. If you listen closely to the broadcast, the most important thing isn't what Skabeeva says, but how the guests react. The mention of Tomahawks was repeated dozens of times. This isn't a news flash, it's a nervous tick of propaganda. They call the missiles obsolete, unchangeable in the balance of power, yet they devote half the broadcast to them. Their words echo the classic defensive rhetoric of a besieged fortress. We will shoot down, we have adapted, we will withstand everything. But behind this bravado, panic lurks. Because for the first time, Russia is confronted not with symbolic sanctions or diplomatic demarches, but with what the Kremlin always considered impossible: the direct intervention of NATO technology and intelligence into the very fabric of war. That's the headline of the American Conservative. According to the publication, Kyiv staged a whole show with the threat of Russian drones to convince Europe of the need for new supplies. The first part of the scenario is unidentified UAVs over Poland. The second is Trump's scandalous statements about Zelensky's victory. And the third is Tomahawk missiles, which Kyiv can allegedly use to reach the Kremlin. But, as the publication writes, the US simply doesn't have the required number of missiles or the platforms to launch them from Ukrainian territory. Credit must be given to the Trump administration. Unlike the previous one, which suffered from fear of escalation,